Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is about making another pocket door. Right, this wall needs to move slightly because it's kind of flush against that batten, which actually is quite useful because it gives me something to mount it to, but it doesn't give me enough. I've got no void area to put in all the bits and pieces for the pocket door, which is that system there. And if I had it mounted there at that height, then it basically lowers the whole thing. Means the bit would be down there, and therefore the aperture going through would be smaller. So I'm going to shimmy this door across. I've got two options. I can either move it that way or this way. If I move it that way, then those become shorter than 6 foot. And even though they're mostly going to be for kids, I think if I'm going to save a couple of inches, I might as well do it off the larger big cabin or saloon. So yeah, this is going to come over to there, so if you mount it to that side, then I can put all the gubbins here and the next wall, which means I do have a decent anchor point still, so hopefully this will all fit, but therefore I'm going to have a gap between the wall and the bed, so I just got to work out what side to do it on. It's probably going to be this side now, so I just need some kind of buffer. Right, there we have it in its new position, which gives me enough void to get in the din rail and the sliding mechanism. It's nice and flush against there. It's all pretty straight and true, so that's good. I need to readjust this bed now. I'm not going to put a filler in. I'm going to swap those bits of CLS. I'll be able to use them on the other bed, and therefore I can get it all done properly and mount them into the wall and get it all nice and secure. Right, that's what it's going to have to move by, which is basically the width of that. So I need to put some supports on this side here, which is going to be the inside of the pocket door. And then, yeah, I might be able to secure it in a couple of points on that bit there, just because it'll be hidden by trim and stuff. But it's all square, so should be okay. Yeah, let's get that mounted. Right, some new lengths of that have been cut. That's all been secured in against the wall. All's nice and true and square. So I'm now going to unscrew that and use it as a template. Right, it's taken me a couple of times just to make sure I'm getting all this right. Basically, there's a really nice pattern on the underside of that. And I want that, and it's at the top. And so I want that to be on this facing part here, just above the dinette. So I think it's going to be around about here, this nice pattern. So for that to happen, I've just kind of lined this up. The only annoying thing is it means I'm going to have to cut the line at the floor. I mean, I've got to trim it down one way or t'other, but it just means I'm going to be foregoing the factory edge, but it's going to be along the ground anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the purpose of this is to get the nice pattern on the wood. Okay, that wall's back in place. Now it's time to offer this up. Yeah, that's going to be good. Oh, there's the pattern I wanted. Excellent. Right, that's it. This is going to be the area now for the dinette, because that is the dinette bulkhead wall now. So I think I'm going to get the proportions I want. Basically, I wanted an 8-foot dinette, and that's what I've got, up to about There's a bit of tolerance on it still. So I mean, up to about here-ish, I think, is where the 8 foot is. So it's quite spacious. It's exactly what I wanted. Right, here's the void. Obviously it's not particularly level because I need the cupboard on that side and the dinette and bits and pieces on this side to straighten up these walls. But before then, I do need to go about and start fixing in the bits and pieces for the pocket door. And on this one, I'm going to do it slightly different to this one. So this one here, if you remember, had those brackets welded to the roof. And on this one, I'm not going for that. Partly because, well, I can't really be... I'm going to see if I can fix it to here. There, I kind of had no choice-ish. But here, I think I might be able to fix it all to this batten here. So I'm going to give that a go, and otherwise I'll have to insert some roof brackets. I've got myself 4 meters of din rail. Just going to cut that to size. Right, I've just put in a couple of extra bits of 9mm ply on this batten to take in the din rail, so I've got something to screw it into, and then just applied a bit more spray foam on the bits I had to excavate. And now I'm hoping the din rail will fit just above there, which will be exactly the same as that one there. Don't know if you can make that out. Yeah, that's how that will be. So that's the plan. Here it is. Let's offer it up. Yeah, there we go. That sits in there. That's the midpoint there. Happy days. Well, I think that's going to work. There's a screw onto this board here which is protruding a little bit, which is snagging. So I've got to put that in a bit better. And then that board can go up to here. I can probably get some, I'll be able to mount it on this side. Yeah, I'll be able to secure the din rail kind of like here through a screwdriver through that side there. Yeah, I think that's going to be about as good as I'm going to get it. I'll take some measurements. I could always get another piece of wood up there and then secure it in up there. And drill in from that side of the bulkhead. That might work. But I'm pretty happy that that's gone in without the need of any welding brackets, which means that for the second one, the other one in the bathroom, I might be able to use the same approach, which is a right result. Now I'm starting to fit out the boat with kind of bulkheads and stuff. It seems to be more spacious, which I've heard other people say when you start to put stuff in a boat, it seems to kind of have more room. But I've got the midships cabin in there already, with just over 6 foot beds in there, and still got plenty of room up the end for the bathroom and the front cabin. But this is quite a generous space, all of this. I'm not even at the back of the boat, and it feels like the distance from me to where the dinette bulkhead wall is and where that door's going to be is that's quite generous. It's quite a kind of decent proportion for me and some kids. Yeah, that feels quite spacious. So kind of, and that's kind of the look or the feel I wanted on the boat, is to have certainly this living quarters to be as spacious as it could be. I was kind of restricted with a few things at that end of the boat, but yeah, I'm happy with how this has worked out. And the kind of the hatch there, it's not going to be bang in the center of the dinette, but it's going to be pretty close to. An 8 foot dinette comes up to there, where that bit of ply is. So I've still got quite a bit of room between that and the heater. So I could have an 8-foot dinette and then a bit of cabinetry here or whatever. TV on the wall up there. Or maybe a projector onto that wall. I don't know, work it out. But yeah, this is coming together. I'm trying to get my head around what bits are going to be visible and accessible when the door is in and that wall's put back. Because this bit here needs to be secured this side of the din rail. So I'm thinking if I was to excavate that spray foam and Sikaflex some timber to the roof, obviously in the right position, so I could then from that side screw in through those holes into the timber. At least then, I don't know, is that gonna, then the screws are all gonna be on a bloody angle and the wheels aren't gonna pass it. There's really not much kind of tolerance there. Okay, I think I know how I'm gonna do this. So when I'm getting it, once I've built the door and got it ready, before I put it in place for the last time, I will screw in a piece of batten to that bit of din rail, get that nice and tight and true, and then Sikaflex that bit of batten to the ceiling, clamp that in place, make sure it's all in the right position, let that go off, and then that should be it. I'll do it that way round. So I won't be able to do that yet because I need to make the doors. Now I'm going to move on to the doors. I've got 2 doors to make, and my plan is to use either frosted or white PVC or perspex, basically with a like a timber surround. I'm going to block in that bit, so the door is really just going to occupy that space there. Right, I'm just going to put the wall back. Just want to check that the width kind of worked on this side. Yeah, that's perfect. The door's not really quite as wide as that. Oh, hang on, I can fix it up there, can't I? How could I do that? I guess when I put it all up, I could hang the door. Hang on, I could hang the door, and then I could secure that to that, and then put the wall up. So basically I can't do anything here until I've done the door. Yeah. Okay, so I can get a bit of an anchor point there. I think I still need one maybe there, and I definitely need one there. Stop any movement there, I reckon. Although now I'm holding it there, that seems pretty tight. Where's the other wheel? Yeah. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be all right. Sweet. Okay. No, it's going to move. No, it definitely needs some more stuff screwing to the, affixed to the roof. But I reckon just a bit of CT1 on that will be all right. Sweet. Thanks for watching. Thank you also to Greg for chucking some money in my PayPal. Actually, it paid for this din rail, so cheers, pal. Right, until tomorrow, take care. Bye bye.